It's frustrating. Like it I know I don't sound mad. And the funny thing is I'm not even mad at like the right people. Like you would expect me to be like, well, I'm mad at the troons, but the troons are just animals. You know what I mean? The troons are like creatures of habit. They're just dumb animals and they act violently because they're mentally ill, porn addicted, low IQ, kind of barbaric and senseless. And they do what they do because that's just their nature. And I don't really hold that against them, but I understand that I don't want to live around them or have anything to do with them. I'm angrier at the providers because in my years of dealing with this, I have looked at so many countries. I've spoken to lawyers. I've spent money, like good money, consulting lawyers in like a dozen different countries. I've spoken to people in Russia and Ukraine, in a bunch of different places, in Liechtenstein, and I've like in Suriname. I've looked everywhere for a country that can do better than the United States in hosting stuff that's offensive. And the reality is that the United States is so obviously heads and tails a better place to host free and online discussion. But the issue then is that the nobody cares about Stormfront. That's how it says so. The issue is that the people running the networks in the United States are like cowards. The average American wants today to be like yesterday, and they want tomorrow to be like today. And not a single one of them is prepared to be uncomfortable for the sake of preserving anything. They just want to grind out 60 years until retirement and get out. And I can't even really be fully upset because I can understand not wanting your shit fucked up because of some retard that you don't have anything to do with. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, it's like at some point, surely there has to be a realization by some people who are in power to, or who are in the positions of power to be like, wait a second, these are literally rapists. These are like gross sex pests who openly talk about like their sex offenses on Twitter. And they're only trying to like cover the shit up. It's not like people complain about like the doxing and the racism and the anti-Semitism that's found on some boards on the forum, and literally none of that is the issue. The issue is that there's a bunch of gross freak trannies that want to cover up how much of a gross freak they are, and they're willing to do literally anything to accomplish that, and people just give them what they want constantly. And I just find that so disgusting. It literally fills me with contempt and hatred, not even for the trannies, because like I said, they're just beasts. They're doing what they are doing for self-preservation of their comfort and their way of life, which is a degenerate way of life I do not approve of and do not want to be around. But the people who are in the positions of power to say yes or no to things, they're the ones who are contemptuous. It's like, it's one thing, I don't even know if there's like a parable or like a Aesop fable that has a moral of a story like this, but it's like one thing to be a crazed beast. It's another thing to be a coward and to give crazed beasts what they want just because they are like sending you emails and calling you and shit.